I'm Sarah Spalding. I'm an undergraduate advisor here at the Catholic University of America. And today I want to share some reflections I have about our reading from Antigone by Sophocles. The thing that I found really interesting about this text is the idea of personal identity and how we form relationships with those around us. I think what this text really emphasizes is trying to figure out where you belong in your community. The text talks a lot about the beasts and the birds and other people in the community and trying to find a sort of order to where man belongs in it. Man is wondrous because he can fit into so many different slots and he can interact with other people and with other beasts in the wild. But there's a bit of a tension here in Antigone. There's a tension between how one can act and how one should act. And I think this is at the crux of this text, is forming your correct identity in life. And the idea that this identity is really part of the relationships that you have with others in your world. Antigone also asks us to reflect upon what choices we want to make in the society in which we live. So we have this choice here as being man, as being able to learn different technologies, having mastery over language, the ability to communicate with each other. How do we want to formulate that communication? We have the choice to perhaps try to master nature, subdue the beasts of the wild. We can try to use writing to get to know each other or to communicate spiritually with our God, or in this case, in the historical context of ancient Greece, the gods, and to form those relationships. However, we have to take into consideration those around us. The end of Antigone here, the excerpt that we have, discusses the pitfalls of not reflecting upon the relationships that we make with others. Here Sophocles says, "But he has no city if he joins the wicked and daring. May he not share my hearth, nor share my thoughts, whoever acts that way." I think this ending of this excerpt here really kind of points us in the direction that we need to not necessarily just act without thinking because we are wondrous man and have the ability to perhaps master language, make laws, subdue the beasts of the wild, but that we have to put every situation in its proper context. And I think this is a really important theme here, is that the reason we have personal relationships and that man is so wondrous is that he can think through a situation and find the appropriate course of action. He can interpret a text, he can interpret a situation and do what is right in that instance. And I think that the heart of this passage is asking us to reflect upon, do we just do things without thinking because we can, or do we do things with great thought because it is right to do so?